Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Aisha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Let's go. Let's get it going, man. Another episode of Habari Live. I'm not feeling really great today, but we're going to try to get it going, man, and get this shit over with. Let's go. We are late as I don't know what. It's pretty ridiculous how late we are today. But we're going to get it going, man.
There was a couple traffic accidents.
I just not with it today. So let's go. Let's get straight to the top stories of the week so far. Let's get it going with Aisha.
What's good, y'all? I'm Aisha, and this is going to be Habari Live, and this is what we're going to be tracking this week. The Supreme Court is weighing marijuana and gunship ownership laws. The U.S. Supreme Court has heard arguments this week in a case that could have major implications for gun rights and marijuana users nationwide. At issue, the federal law that makes it a crime for anyone who uses marijuana, even in states where it's legal, to own a firearm is what they're saying. We don't want anyone who is able to who uses marijuana to be able to own a firearm. Justices are weighing whether or not this law violates the Second Amendment protections, particularly as more states legalize recreational and medical cannabis. The ruling could impact millions of Americans. And, I feel as though, if you're going to say that marijuana users aren't able to own a gun, alcohol users shouldn't be allowed either.
This is dumb shit. You motherfuckers wanted everybody to have fucking guns. Now you're trying to find stipulations to try to make sure that certain people don't have guns. It's bullshit. Y'all, for the last 10, 20 years, the Republicans have been running around doing everything they can to loosen the gun laws. Mm-hmm. Make sure that everyone can have a gun. Everybody got to have a gun. Get a gun, Second Amendment, everyone. Then they started fucking with Joe Biden's son, talking about he smoked some crack and he had a gun back. These are the Second Amendment people. Now we know that everyone in this nation would fall into that situation where either they was drunk and had a gun or high and had a gun. If you go by that criteria, probably much no one can get one.
Right.
Except the church going, no non-drinking. But to try to just be like, oh, well, it's just the people who smoke marijuana, we don't want to have guns.
Right.
It's a slippery slope. But this is the Republican way. They fight and they do everything they can to hurt, to make sure that people have guns. Then when the situation happens, that's put in some roadblocks for some people before they can't get them. It's all black people smoke marijuana is what they think. All Mexicans, it's just a whole bunch of racist bullshit. But the thing they don't know is everybody smoke. So you could try all you want to, but this is a bigger problem than what you think it is. Mm-hmm. But it's dumb. I hope it gets struck down. I don't know if it's going through Congress, Senate, or whatever, but state Senate, but we'll see what happens. I just think you talk about the man who was convicted to prison for buying his son. Nobody smoked crack anymore, I don't think, man. Not that I know of. But okay, racist guy. So white people smoke meth and fentanyl. Is that what we're saying, Dave Miller? And black people smoke crack? Is that the racist ideology you rolling with today? I know people who are black, white that do both, all that shit. So it's kind of you're being a racist. I know white people smoke crack, well, back in the day anyway. All type of them.
That is true.
But yeah, but like I was saying, the guy that was imprisoned for his son doing a school shooting, I do agree with that. Now, do I agree with this? No, it's dumb. If you're gonna do that, you got to do it to every single person. There's
Right.
people high on aspirin. There's people high on all type shit. So you got to do what you got to do, man. Let's go.
Anywho, moving on. The country's largest school choice program is now facing a federal lawsuit.
Who?
The school choice program.
Oh, goodness.
The suit alleges that Muslim schools are being excluded from participation, raising concerns about religious discrimination and equal access to public education funds. The plaintiffs are arguing that the exclusion violates constitutional protections of religious freedom and equal treatment. The outcome could reshape how school choice programs operate nationwide.
We all know that the school choice shit is based in racism. This is a way to leave behind the people who can't get up and move. This is a way to give money to private schools and charter schools and let the people who already have money take even more money from the public school, the education. So it's ridiculous to see, but we're gonna pay for this shit. We got people buying diamond rings and going on trips and doing all type stuff with the money that's supposed to be going to public schools. We got people homeschooling people. There's no criteria for homeschool. Everybody's just doing what they want to, teaching their kids Scooby-Doo, and we're paying for it. And we got people out here, man, pushing their religion, but other religions are being left out. So you could do a private school from a church, Catholic church, all these places, but the Muslims are left out. They're not getting any of the money. It's not fair.
No, it's not.
And see, in public school, you couldn't turn people away. Private schools can turn away whoever they want.
For whatever reason they want.
Charter schools can turn away whoever they want.
For whatever they want.
So these are the schools, people are like, that's the future. So the future is leaving kids and just saying, oh, well, good luck. If we don't have public schools, what's going to happen to these kids that these people don't want to teach? What's going to happen? Then they're just straight up just, oh, we're just going to do Christian schools and Catholic schools. Like, they don't hide the evil shit, man. They're going to lose this because you can't push one religion and leave out the others. Just like these motherfuckers in Oklahoma trying to put the 10 Commandments everywhere. Telling everybody you have to listen to my religion. And then judges have passed this. It's going to go to the Supreme. I don't know why people hate education so much. But we see on the Republican side that they do. That's why they are 49th through 40th in schools. The last place. Yeah, teachers they've been doing that for years though, man. They always have had to pay for the supplies. But usually they have the money. They're getting paid decent money, so it's not a big thing. But in today's economy, the amount of money they're making, especially here in Arizona, they don't want to pay them anything. I mean, the Republicans straight up refuse to give these people any more money. They won't do anything. Every time we pass a bill to try to get the teachers more, they strike it down. They straight up don't want.
We passed the bill and they don't do nothing about it. They just ignore it.
They struck it down. They said they're not putting it in place. Like we passed red versus ed. They didn't overturn. They just straight up ignored it. They didn't put it in place. They were supposed to put those things.
Just ignored it.
We're not doing that. We're not giving teachers because they don't like education. They hate it. So this is where we are, man. You know what I'm saying? America is a crazy place. You know, I love to live in Arizona, man, but it's so tough when you're fighting to make sure your kid has a good education.
Mhm.
And
That's true.
it's ridiculous.
It is. However, moving on, new legal filings claim that billionaire financier Leon Black, who was linked to Jeffrey Epstein, attempted to silence a law firm and the accusers pursuing claims tied to the Epstein related matters. The lawsuit alleges that aggressive legal tactics were used to suppress damaging information. Well, Black has previously denied any wrongdoings. Mm,
This your last one?
got a couple more. It,
Yeah. I don't know, man.
it's
I'm
crazy.
sick of these Epstein files. I know that.
I am too.
And no one in America is being, I mean, we just have people losing their jobs.
Right.
No one's been held to account. Everybody's cheating. All the stories are coming out. People cheating and doing all these things to hide their connection to these files.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous, man. The people who are in power, how they can just skirt accountability. People like you and I, you know what I'm saying, in certain cities, man, back home in Illinois, I couldn't drive down the street without the police up my motherfucking ass. Yep. These dudes can be in the files raping little kids, still don't have any issues.
None.
You know, we talk about, you know, people love to bring up how 50% of the crime, it's always black people. But look at these situations where these rich people just get away with everything. Y'all love to talk about us and all black people. That's every video online. It's people talking about black people and what they're doing. But ignore all this shit that's happening to little kids. And it's not black kids. But you know, black people usually kill other black people. But the thing is, they're so focused on what we're doing. Mm-hmm. They're missing what's going on in their own neighborhood, their
right
own next
under
door.
Their own nose.
And they, the black people. We don't even live in your hoods. We don't even live in your neighborhoods. We don't live in your locations. But that's the people they want to focus on while these things are happening right under their nose.
In their homes.
The Epstein files have been going on for 30 years. These people have been doing disgusting things to little girls. And nobody's saying anything. And nobody wants to make them pay account. And this is what happens so much in America. Where everybody else is held to the standards. Black people go to jail twice as much as everybody else. Everybody else getting a little slap on the wrist and all this. Just don't do it again. They was gonna do that to Epstein.
Yep, you already know it.
That's what they did. Acosta did that. They gave him a slap on the wrist.
That sweetheart deal he got.
Sweetheart deal. And it's just crazy, man. But this is the shit that happens in America. Yep. If you got money, just get away with crimes, while the poor people pay the price.
Pay the price. In a related development, a House committee has issued a subpoena to Pam Bondi in connection with ongoing efforts to obtain additional Epstein-related files. Lawmakers are saying that they are seeking transparency and full disclosure regarding the investigative records. The move signals continued congressional scrutiny into how Epstein-related matters were handled and what information may still need to be released.
Oh, man. I'm happy that they are finally going after someone that can answer some real questions.
Right.
You know, they try to play politics at first, bringing in Bill and Hillary Clinton. I understand Bill. I do not understand Hillary. She's not in the files.
That part.
There was no reason
she was supposed to be disposed.
Exactly. She wasn't in none of the pictures. Obviously, Bill was out doing his own thing. So it's crazy that she was one of the first people that's called into these hearings. And the people that you know, they're asking, the reporters asking questions. So when are we going to get Trump? Well, Trump, he already said he didn't do anything.
He's already been exonerated.
And he's exonerated. The victim said he didn't do it. The first thing that caught to my head is he has 2 allegations in these files. Have y'all talked to those people? 2 separate allegations that he has. Y'all haven't talked to them. Mm-mm. You're going off the people that said, oh, he didn't do anything. And well, he didn't do anything. You haven't talked to the people that's important or pertinent to that case.
Right.
At all. And they're trying to hide Trump. That's what they're going to do. They're
Cover
going to
up.
protect him. They're going to protect him. They're going to protect him. But we're going to see what she says in this hearing. If it's anything like the last hearing she had, this should be a mess.
Oh, you know it.
But since Republicans are going to be there, but the Republicans was there last time, so she's going to act the fool every time a Democrat asks her a question. She's going to go to her burn book and say some other stupid stuff. Yeah, I agree with you, Richard Crosby. Performative crap. Nothing real. But, so many Americans okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay.
Yep. Moving on, here at home, Chris Mays and State Superintendent Tom Horne are both being sued over how and what the complaint describes as a bungled prosecution in an ESA fraud case. The lawsuit claims that an innocent man was wrongly targeted while actual fraud went unchecked. The case raises new questions about oversight and accountability within Arizona's expanding scholarship program, or what's known as the ESA or school choice program.
Arizonans, man, we made a big mistake by putting Tom Horne back in there. The last election, we went Trump. Trump, he won the state, and Tom Horne won the state because he was talking about DEI and all this stuff that the right was about at the time. They want to get DEI out of everything, diversity, kill diversity. So he come in to kill diversity. And another thing they was talking about, the what was that class that they was always crying about?
The CRT class?
Yeah, critical race theory. They hated that. So he came to kill critical race theory because, you even though you only learn it in AP and college courses, they made it seem like it's in grade school, it's in kindergarten, and the right, but yeah, I get it, yeah. Ain't none of that shit in there, man. Ain't no goddamn critical. Your kids ain't even smart enough to understand the theory. And it's ridiculous that y'all trying to kill something that was nowhere. Then
that had nothing to do with that grade level.
How does Tom Horne get graded? I mean,
F.
We're the 49th in education. Our teachers make less than any other teachers in any other state. It's embarrassing, dog.
Very embarrassing.
And Republicans are clapping because they can send their kids to private school. Let's make all the other kids dumb as we can because we don't want to pay for any schools that are poor. We just want them to be dumb. And that's really what they want. They don't want an educated populace. I mean, that the fact that they're dropping the ball on fraud, while in Minnesota, they're stopping Medicare to kids and old people because fraud is present. It's fraud. We got to shut it down. We got to shut everything down. No one is getting any Medicare. Any kid, old lady that's dying, fuck them. It's fraud. And it's bad, man, here in Arizona, man. How many schools are getting shut down? It's sad. And I don't know, man. It's just not good. Dude, cap for life. You're capping again. Trump is the worst president ever. And I hope you're packed up for you can go to Iran and fight for your Israel buddies. But anyway, let's get it going.
For real.
First, today we had Gnome getting grilled by the Senate, and or was it the House? I don't know.
One of them.
I don't think you had the right thing up here.
You sure?
Yeah, I guess. No, this ain't right. But anyway, let's go ahead and run this video on Tom Tillis and him going after Gnome and her record with ICE.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Gnome, thank you for being here. I'm really glad that a lot of my Republican colleagues talked about the disaster that Biden and Mayorkas, your predecessor, created. It was absurd. You heard the things from Senator Brett.
You got to
People
check
that
at the
came
top
over
of it,
here
say
who
Habari Live
themselves were
Wednesday.
traumatized by the very people who then come to this country and
The title should
traumatize
be
American
Oil,
citizens.
Coup,
You heard
and Broken
Senator
Deals.
Schmidt saying the same thing. A lot of us are very frustrated with the disaster that President Biden left behind and a failed DHS. It's why I'm angry, and it's why I've been critical of you, Secretary Gnome, because we're missing an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons President Trump won a year and a half ago is because people were sick and tired of a Democratic administration's open border policy and allowing millions of people to come to this country, 1.7 million called gotaways. We don't even know where they are, but we know when you pay a premium to a cartel to get them into this country, they're bad people. Now, why have I been critical of Secretary Gnome? Because I don't think we're focusing on, we have limited resources. ICE can't be everywhere at once. There's very few people in Capitol Hill that support law enforcement more than me, including the sworn ICE officers. In fact, I've just been told, fortunately, in about a week and a half, we're going to get a plaque on the wall over the Capitol, thanking the Capitol police officers and all the agencies that responded on January 6th. All those thugs have actually been pardoned, and yet we haven't thanked the Capitol police officers for their work here. So when I say I'm unapologetically pro-law enforcement, you can count in every single sworn officer in Homeland Security. So why am I disappointed with Secretary Gnome? Because we're not going after enough people who did this damage at the expense of running numbers that Stephen Miller wants out of the White House. We just want numbers. We want 1,000 a day, 6,000 a day, 9,000 a day because numbers matter, right? No, they don't matter. Quality matters, not quantity, quality. And what we've seen is a disaster. Under your leadership, Ms. Gnome, a disaster. What we've seen is innocent people getting detained that turn out are American citizens. I could talk about the culture that's been created here with Stephen Miller aiding and abetting. I heard first reports that he was the one that said it was a domestic terrorist situation where 2 people lost their lives in Minneapolis. I've heard that report. Maybe you can refute it. I don't know that we'll have time for you to respond because I'm giving you a performance evaluation here. I'm not looking for a response. And I'm saying, Ms. Gnome, that time after time after time I've been disappointed. But before I get back to looking at the vicious people that did this damage to these families, I want to talk a minute about FEMA. You have a policy right now that anything over $100,000 has to go through your desk for approval. I asked my staff, because I'm a management consultant, I don't try to do cheap shots in here, but the facts do not lie. This is your administration for FEMA response. This is President Trump's first administration. Which one would you like to have? If you're a state that has a $60 billion disaster, your biggest disaster in South Dakota that I can tell that when you were an elected official was about $500 million. So 1/100th of this single storm where thousands of people are hurting in North Carolina and you're just barely catching up. This is what competent FEMA leadership looks like. This is what incompetent FEMA leadership looks like. And
That's
people
crazy.
are hurting in Western North Carolina from the most significant storm they've ever experienced. This is what we need more of. I'm convinced you can't do it. If you're requesting a review of $100,000 and up, then it begs the question, why? Why would you be involved in that? Why would that be a policy? And in a minute, I'll ask about some people that are involved, some special government employees. Why are they involved in it? Thank you.
Senator,
No.
that
You can finish
that $100,000
after my 10
only
minutes
had
are
to
done,
do.
I will hold the clock until I finish.
Okay.
The bottom line is I've done the analysis.
I don't
And
know
you
why
can
it's not
say
updated
whatever you
this year.
want to. I've worked with the Democrat governor. I've worked with the Republican governor. I've worked with fiscal research. We have people contacting my office now to get the information to better understand the failure of this department. You failed at FEMA, and in fact, if I get to it, actually, why don't I cover this right now? The Homeland Security Act of 2002 expressly prohibits the Secretary of Homeland Security from restricting or diverting FEMA resources from the agency's mission. Based on your disaster response, the chart that I just showed you, I have reason to believe that you're violating the law, either knowingly or unknowingly. So I'll be asking and getting a submission to the record, submitting a question for the record, what the total amount of FEMA reimbursements are currently being held by DHS, awaiting for final approval. Held by DHS, awaiting for final approval for an agency that you should not be obstructing the disbursement on. I'm going to give you time to answer to it under penalty of perjury so that we can get it right.
All right, bring us back.
Now.
So that's a Republican going in on her, man. A Republican saying the things that needs to be said. And I want to give it to Tillis, you know what I mean? Because most of the Republicans are sitting on their hands, acting like everything is great. What she is doing is terrible. What she's doing to FEMA, what she's doing, everything under Homeland Security. Which Homeland Security is garbage in the first place. There's too many factions under Homeland Security. All these factions should be separated. There shouldn't be one person that has the power over all of these situations. No one. FEMA, ICE, I mean, all of the different divisions that she's over, man, she has too much power. What's the problem?
Nothing at all. I got it. Give me a second.
You can't. But, you know, we have another person that's going in on Miss Christy Gnome. And Booker took a chance, and there was others. You know, we just grabbed a couple of them so far today. So go ahead and play this one with Booker.
You are violating the separation of powers, violating court orders, and routinely violating the civil rights of Americans.
Updating. I went in and out of it.
This is a reckless and out of control agency that you are responsible for. You seem to have no situational awareness whatsoever of some of the most egregious examples of Americans being completely attacked, violated, undermined in accordance with our laws by their own government. And this is what is phenomenal to me, is immigration was your president's #1 issue, overwhelmingly popular with the American people. But now it's overwhelmingly unpopular. And it's not because you are deporting dangerous people that everybody here wants out of our country. No, it's because you're going into our schools. You're terrorizing our children. You're detaining children. You're arresting Americans. You're breaking into our homes. You're terrorizing our streets. You're violating our rights to peacefully protest again and again and again.
None of
and then
that
when
is
a
true.
court tells you
None
to
of
stop,
that is true.
and then when a court
You are
tells
trying
you to stop,
to impede
you
us
violate
from enforcing
judges'
the
orders.
law
Not in
and
a
getting
partisan
dangerous
way,
criminals off of our
Republican
streets
appointed and
so we don't have
Democratic
more
appointed.
families like the ones that are
Don't
sitting
sit
behind
there
me.
and tell me that
Lost
you are
their children. They're
responsible
gone forever.
for the running of your agency when you're not even aware. Either you are utterly incompetent or you are violating laws with impunity. You should step down from your position. If you don't, you should be removed by this president. And if not, Congress should impeach you.
Yeah, I appreciate the
Yes, she does.
So I see some Cap for Life says the Democratic Party push for Homeland Security. Are you sure, bro? Are you sure? Are you sure? Think about it. Think about it when Homeland Security was created. I am old enough to remember. Homeland Security was created because 9/11. Who was the president then? Who was the president then, Mr. Cap for Life? Y'all have to remember. And then the thing is this. As we go into war with Iran, we got the history of George Bush going to Iraq. All of the people, everyone was, oh yeah, weapons of mass destruction, just like y'all are now. All the Republicans, yeah, we're going to go save Iran. Yeah, we're going to save them from a tyrannic government. Those people don't get they don't get to do anything. We're going to save them, knowing y'all don't give two fucks about Iran or Iraq's fucking people. But now, today on online, you see people, they can't wear their hair. We have to save those women. The same people who are yelling and screaming, we don't want those people in our country when they're escaping for asylum. They are insane. When we went to Iraq back in the day, and they were talking about weapons of mass destruction, the Republican Party, yeah, everybody was with it. They loved it, every minute of it. Don't listen to the Democrats. We're going to war, yeah, waving flags, they're happy. I don't give a fuck how long we've had the damn problem. I don't care. We keep fucking with them, and we would leave them the fuck alone. We wouldn't have to keep going over there. Leave them alone. 9/11 happened. Most of the people was from fucking Saudi Arabia. We don't go there. We go to Iraq. Why would Obama get rid of Homeland Security? Why is it up to him to get rid of it? Why? Why would it be up to him to get rid of it? Could you imagine that? Obama, I'm getting rid of this. Like, shut up, man. He's not going to do that. You see how they acted when the man gave him fucking health care and they flipped out. It's not a fact. He didn't do it. Why would he destroy it? Homeland Security. Homeland Security didn't become a problem until now. When we see one person has too much power, it was run as best as it could be at the time. Now we're seeing the issues with one person making decisions for FEMA, one person making the decisions for ICE. And we don't even know all the other divisions that she's making horrible decisions for. I was saying that it should be broken up. Just putting under one banner is kind of crazy. It should be restructured. I agree. But like I was saying, these same people that got us in the war in Iraq, they're the same people, Lindsey Graham, all happy and doing their thing. What do you make? You make no sense. I'm ignoring you. Anyway, they was happy and having a party. Let's go to Iraq. Yeah. Now let's go to Iran. We're going to save them. We're going to, man, dude, I'm so sick of this shit. Every time a Republican is in office, when the Democrats in there, they hollering, oh, we don't like war. We don't care about war. They get in office, going to blow up everybody. And they have no problem. They're celebrating. The same people who were saying, no more war. We don't care about Ukraine. Just let them die. Now you want to save the Iraqi people? Like, really? That sounds insane. So this shit has been going back since 1953. Obama, Trump, Bush. Like, this shit is ridiculous. Carter. All the presidents that keep trying to do things in fucking Middle East. And it's always over oil. None of us need to fucking be dying for Israel's war. Oh, shit. Excuse me. I feel like crap today. We're dying. But I'm talking about Iraq, bro. I'm talking about the last time that we were brought into a war over terms that were lies. And the Republican Party, all of them celebrating and let's go to war. Let's get him out of Saddam Hussein out of there. Y'all are doing the same shit now that you did then. Mm-hmm. And then after all the shit go down, and then you're like, oh, well, Bush lied. He shouldn't have. Like, dog, man, fuck y'all. When the shit was going on, I couldn't get one of you motherfuckers to change y'all mind. We trying not to vote for Bush because he's trying to put us in the war that we don't fucking need to be in. But what did you do? What did you all do? You ran and voted for Bush. Yeah, war. Every time this is what Republicans do, and it's so fucking annoying. Then when a Democrat is in fucking power, here y'all go. Here y'all come. The shit's insane. Lie after lie after lie after lie. No fucking weapons of mass destruction was found. Now they can't even keep their lie straight. There's so many lies going on, they don't even know which one to tell. They just lying. They don't know. Everybody just lying. So let's play this video of old Trump talking about Obama and how he felt that Obama was going to start a war with Iran because he sucks. That's what Trump says. Let's go into it.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. Now, I'm more militant and more militaristic than the president. I believe in strength. But to start a war in order to get elected, and I believe that's going to happen, would be an outrage. Iran can be taken down in many ways. Their population is in turmoil. They look at what's happening in Syria and other countries where it looked like it was an impossibility, and it looks like that one's going to collapse also. So Iran can be taken. I would never take the military card off the table. And it's possible that it'll have to be used because Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. But you've got to exhaust other possibilities. And we're in a great position to do it. They know, or they at least must know, that they're in a little bit of heat because there's a lot of pressure to attack. This is a great time to negotiate. Unfortunately, we have a president that doesn't know the first thing about negotiation. We have a real problem in the White House. So I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic? Well, they finally cleared out the protesters, and it's about time. It's great that the protesters are no longer allowed to put up their tents.
This dude's voice is so fucking annoying. But you know, before there was the nuclear deal, before maximum pressure, before Soleimani, there was oil. And in 1953, the United States helped overthrow a democratically elected Iranian leader. That decision has reshaped the Middle East and still defines how Iran sees America today.
We're going to be breaking down the real history, BP, the CIA coup, the Shah, the revolution, and how that mistrust shaped Obama's diplomacy and Trump's maximum pressure campaign.
Mm-hmm.
This is not partisan. This is going to be purely historical context.
Because if you don't understand 1953, you can't understand 2026 or 2015 or 2018. You can't understand these times. You can't. You're going to have issues understanding what's going on, and everybody wants to sit around and act like, oh, it's just so simple. Mm-hmm. We're trying to save the Iranian people and free them. It's so ridiculous to see. Now we got people, Trump, you know, he's it's crazy to see the videos and see him talk. And you can see how he's thinking right now. He's weak, bad because he can't get the deal that Obama was able to get. And he loves to shit on Obama's deal, but his deal was working. They said they did not have any enrichment. They did not have the nuclear capabilities. Trump also said that with the bunker busters that they dropped last year, that he took out all their nuclear capabilities.
Right.
So what is really going on? We're being lied to again by the Republican Party. for kids and everyone else to die because we don't have the balls to stand up to them at all. We don't have that. Who do we liberate in World War II? What are you talking about? The Jews. I mean, that's a pretty easy answer. All the other places that were getting murdered with the Italians were getting murdered. All the people across the world. It was just a bad time. And America's drug their feet to do that because people didn't care about Jews back then at all. They didn't care that they was dying. But let's take this next video. Senator Warren saying that Israel has been trying for 40 years to get the U.S. to attack Iran. Every president has been strong enough to resist. Donald Trump is the first guy who got manipulated into going into this fucking war. Warren on Rubio.
Your thoughts on Secretary Rubio saying that the reason that we struck Iran is because Israel was going to do it first? I mean, why are we basing our foreign policy on the impulses of another government?
Israel has been trying for 40 years to get the United States to attack Iran, and every president of the United States has been strong enough to resist that. Donald Trump is the first guy who got manipulated into sending in our warfighters.
How'd they manipulate him? Is that money? Is that blackmail? What is it?
We don't know, but we know for sure that Netanyahu led and Donald Trump followed.
Do you think it has anything to do with the Epstein files, considering some of the, revelations that have come out regarding their connections to former Israeli government officials, including Ehud Barak?
It's pretty clear that both Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump want to distract people from looking at the Epstein files and asking more pointed questions. And they may think a war is the best way to do that.
94% of Congress has accepted some contribution, some campaign contribution from the pro-Israel lobby. That's 505 out of 538 members. Do you have any confidence that these war powers resolutions, with that fact in mind, would get significant approval enough to pass?
Look, we're going to keep fighting for it and force every one of the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives to publicly go on the record. They're going to have to stand up and vote. And that is at least a first step in the right direction. People who don't want to have to vote, who don't want to have to take a public stand, who want to be able to take a lot of money quietly from AIPAC and others are going to have to own up to it.
I mean, too many people are taking money from fucking Israel in our government, man. 95% of that government is taking money from Israel. Both sides, left and right. We're owned by them. They own us. It's so goofy, dog, that fucking Netanyahu can make moves and push us into a war. I mean, she's right. 30, 40 years, this dude, there's a video of him just 30, 40 years. Iran is going to get a nuclear war. He's been saying it for 40 years. Look, nuclear weapon. He just keeps saying it, keeps repeating it. It hasn't happened, but he just keeps saying it. And this dummy runs him and oh, okay, BB, I'll do whatever you say, buddy. Now he's going to follow this dude and go into this war that is ignorant. They keep saying Americans are in danger. It's bullshit, and they all know it. Now, that video that we did watch earlier of Donald Trump was from 2011, talking about how President Obama will start a war with Iran because he cannot negotiate. Trump can't negotiate. He thinks that he can bully people. He comes out bullying. That's his tactic. He comes out, he says a whole bunch of crazy things about the person or the country. He downs them. He talks about them bad.
Defamation
And
at its
that's
finest.
what he does. And then after he talks shit about him, he threatens them with weapons or some type of, oh, I'll take it. I'll take, like he did with Greenland. I'll take it. Strongman tactics. Mob tactics. This is how he negotiates. And then when all that backfires, he tries to act nice. He shouldn't have ripped up the deal that Obama had negotiated. The deal was fine, but he didn't like it because it was Obama's. And he hated Obama so much. Barack Hussein Obama. He can't just say Obama. He got to say Hussein just to make sure y'all know he has a Muslim middle name. This dude ain't shit. But let's go to this video. 2019, Kamala Harris warned that his personal insecurities would lead us into an avoidable war with Iran. She said those exact words. In 2026, as the bombs fall, her words feel like a haunting prophecy. We were warned.
As far as I'm concerned, this president is motivated by his personal insecurities more than he is our national security. And so what we're looking at is, again, a threat that might be taken seriously. And I would dare to say that that threat was issued without serious consultation with our allies, with our military leaders, with our diplomatic leaders. What are our alternatives? Let's also be clear, if this president is thinking about putting us in a position where we're in a war with Iran, the consequences will be absolutely unacceptable and tragic in terms of the young men and women who are American soldiers who would be sent and deployed into something that was completely avoidable.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
She called
avoidable.
it. I mean, she called so much shit. But because, it's a lot of men in America that can't have a woman in charge. It's a lot of men in America that feel smaller because a woman is the president. They couldn't take it. Especially a woman that was half black. Well, these people, she's not black. They did everything they could, man. But now we have this shitty ass lying president who's getting us in the war. People are dying. And all these people are sitting around celebrating. If it was one of your kids that died yesterday in that stupid ass bombing, you would be pissed too. Dumb shit, man. And the people who are sitting here acting like it's okay that people are dying over this bullshit. It's a distraction. And then I see these people online, they're like, well, they shouldn't have signed up for the military if they don't want to die. Are you fucking kidding me, dog? These people are pieces of shit. The president has people's lives in his hands. And if people are going to die, it has to have a good fucking reason why this shit is going on. You don't send kids to die just because. You don't send kids to die because you feel like it. If there isn't a real threat that these people were going to drop a bomb, attack us, then there's no reason for us to be going to war with this country. This is trash. And anybody who's okay with it, you need to just think for 10 minutes. Netanyahu is the one that is pushing this, man. Netanyahu is the one that is doing this shit, man. Not us. This dude is a follower. And he's following Bibi. Dude, I didn't put the Tucker Carlson video up there. No. Play the Rubio.
Yesterday, you told us that Israel was going to strike Iran, and that's why we needed to get involved. Today, the president said that Iran was going to get.
Yeah, your statement is false. So that's not what I was asked very specifically. Were you there yesterday?
Yes, I asked
okay.
the question.
Wait a minute.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. No, were you the one that, because somebody asked me a question yesterday, did we go in because of Israel? And I said, you were asking me that, you from that follow-up, and I said, no. I told you this had to happen anyway. The president made a decision, and the decision he made was that Iran was not going to be allowed to hide behind its ballistic missile program, that Iran was not going to be allowed to hide behind its ability to conduct these attacks. That decision had been made. The president systematically made a decision to systematically destroy this terroristic capability. responsibility that they had, and we carried that out. I was very clear in that answer. This was a question of timing, of why this had to happen as a joint operation, not the question of the
Rubio, we have video of your answer, dumbass. There's video of you saying this shit. There's actual video, you idiot. Now they're all trying to run around and change their answers. This shit is embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing. You're with this. This is disgusting stuff. At least the Bush administration had they lie straight, and everybody could tell the same fucking lie. These motherfuckers can't even get on the same lie. Everybody's saying something different. Now, the day after this shit, or the same day as all these bombings start happening, there were a couple of places in California and Canada that were celebrating the death of Khomeini, the supreme leader. And let's look at what was going on in Iran while this shit was going down, and how they go up to Iran. Now, protests in Tehran after the death of Khomeini they are still ongoing. They are chanting death to America and death to Israel in those crowds. Now, the people, they ran to, and they saw a couple people. Yeah, we're saving Iran. We're saving them. Iran, we're saving them. MAGA, they celebrating. Yeah, we killed them. Knowing. And then the Trump administration asking the people to rise up. Instead of going, when the shit, the thing is, he's been pumping them people up for a while. He pumped them up and got them all shot up and killed, and didn't do anything. He said, "Oh, we're going to come help you," and didn't. Now he was going to go back after all that shit he said, after everything, all those kids were killed for trying to stand up to this regime. Trump pumped them to go keep on doing it and didn't go help them after telling them he was going to. And then waiting months and then go ahead and decided to do it anyway. Terrible, man. Just bad leadership. Horrible. Now we're going to talk about Pete Hegseth calling for the destruction of the start of the war in Iran. U.S. commanders told troops that Iran is part of God's divine plan to bring about Armageddon. This is the shit that Pete Hegseth is saying. It's insane, man. These people using
I understand to your point here that you don't want to broadcast everything for our adversaries to hear, but the American people also want to know what they're sending their men and women to war for. Is there a concern of this spiraling into a longer war? And then one for the chairman when you're done.
Did you not hear my remarks? We're ensuring the mission gets accomplished, but we are very clear-eyed, as the president has been, unlike other presidents, about the foolish policies of the past that recklessly pulled us in to things that were not tethered to actual clear objectives. So we know. We have plans, we have generals, we have chairmen, we have commanders, CENTCOM commanders, Admiral Cooper, who's executing very deliberately to ensure outcomes that I laid out are accomplished.
Pete Hegseth is a clown.
That wasn't even a clear answer.
The last war we was brought into was not tethered to any great ideas or realistic proof. And this war is not tethered to any great ideals or realistic proof. Like it's pretty clear what's going on. This dude that's why they called themselves the Secretary of War. They can't wait to war. They can't wait to kill people and murder people. That's the type of people we have in charge right now. Not people who are like, man, war is a last result. We do not want to see people die. These guys running to try to do it, running to kill people. No, Cap for Life, you have a real fucked up remembrance of history. Donald Trump was the president in Afghanistan and left all the military equipment. There was already a plan to evacuate Afghanistan, and then Biden comes in. He was blamed for it because he was the president, but that plan was in place before he even won the presidency. See, Trump thought he was going to get 4 more years, but he didn't. He lost. It's ridiculous what we're going through with these people, man. But I'm a real fast. We're going to go through this, but let's go back to 1908. Oil is discovered in Persia, what we call now Iran. The British quickly moved in. The Anglo-Persian Oil Company, what later becomes BP, gained control of the industry. Now Iran gets pennies. Britain gets huge profits.
And this wasn't a partnership. This was an extraction. Iran had the resource, but not the power. By the 1940s and 50s, Iranians were living in poverty while foreign corporations dominated their economy.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to the nationalization movement. In 1951, a democratically elected Prime Minister, Mohammad Mossadegh, nationalizes the oil industry. He said the oil belongs to the Iranian people.
The British didn't like that. They didn't want to hear that. They want the money for them. They don't want the money for the British people, but they want the money for themselves. This move electrified Iran, but it enraged Britain. They were pissed. All that money should be coming to them. Because this wasn't just oil, it was geopolitical leverage during the Cold War. This is what BP, we're going to take your oil. 1953, Operation Ajax. Britain and the United States launched a covert CIA operation, Operation Ajax. They destabilized Mossadegh's government. He is overthrown. The Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, is restored to power. And America's happy now.
Yeah. And from that moment forward, the Iranian people see America as not a neutral power, but as a government willing to overthrow democracy to protect oil interests. And that memory never went away at all.
Yeah. I mean, we're open to killing Venezuelan leaders. We're open to taking out Iran leaders, all for oil. We're willing to destabilize any country to get what we want.
Yep. And the Shah rules for 26 years. He modernizes Iran, but rules with authoritarian force. And his secret police, the Savak, they suppress dissidents.
Dissent.
And
here's the key, man. The Shah survives because of U.S. backing. So when the 1979 revolution comes, the anger isn't just about domestic repression. They've had history. It's about foreign interference. It's about America fucking with their oil, trying to take their money, like always. Colonizing, taking, stealing. Then look at the people. Oh, why are you poor? Why you take all their fucking resources? Same shit, man. That's when anti-American sentiments started in Iran, and it hardened. And the mistrust becomes generational. They hated America so long, man, they ready to kill. Now, Obama's nuclear talks, the IAEA inspections. We go ahead and fast forward to 2015. President Barack Obama negotiates the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. The JCPOA, unlike past unilateral moves, this was multilateral. The P5+1 USK, France, Germany, Russia, China.
Because that matters, because it wasn't just America telling Iran what to do. It was an international community.
Right.
And Obama imposed crippling sanctions on Iran's central bank and their oil exports. Inflation skyrocketed in Iran, and the currency collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Obama offered relief in Iran if they capped their nuclear program, which they did.
Mm-hmm. Now this wasn't just about trust. It was about verification, making sure that the scientists can go in and check what's going on. The International Atomic Energy Agency got 24/7 inspection access from Obama's negotiations. According to the IAEA, Iran was complying. That is key because diplomacy only works if both sides believe agreements will be honored. What happens next? Trump and his stupid ass maximum pressure. Trump announcement, sanctions, and all his headlines in 2018, President Donald Trump withdraws from the JCPOA. He calls it the worst deal ever. He launches what he calls maximum pressure. Something that's going to lead to war, is what everyone said.
Yep. But the sanctions return harder than before. But this time, Europe doesn't follow.
Mm-hmm.
Britain, France, Germany, they all attempt to keep the deal alive. So now America is largely acting alone.
Alone.
Where's the trust factor in that?
Alone. Because most countries aren't with what he is doing. That's why Spain said, "Wait, we're not dealing with you, dude. We're good. We're not dealing with you. You renege on all your deals. You put things in place and you stab people in the back. That is not how America is supposed to work." But here's the diplomatic reality, man. When you withdraw from an agreement like this motherfucker loves to do, you can't withdraw from agreements that presidents put in place before you got in office. That is not how it works. But everybody thinks, oh, you get into the office and you just start tearing everything apart. It's never been that way. The presidents used to respected the other moves that presidents made. You didn't go to the office and just start tearing shit up. But that's what Trump has done since day one. Go in, rip everything apart, say everything is horrible, and I'm going to make it better. And it never works out that way. It's always 2 times shittier than when he first got in. You withdraw from an agreement that inspectors say is being followed. It's being followed. And this guy just says, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore. You create doubt. Other countries don't trust you. From Iran's perspective, why negotiate again if the next administration could just walk away? That's the reason why you don't do those things. Countries will never trust us. Now, only thing that's been done is escalation instead of negotiations. Maximum pressure didn't produce a deal. You can't punk everybody. It produced escalations, tanker attacks, regional tensions. And in 2020, the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, Iran retaliates. The region edges closest to war. This is what Trump wants. He wants war.
Yep. But Obama's strategy was international coalition plus sanctions plus diplomacy. And Trump's strategy, unilateral sanctions plus economic collapse plus pressure. The difference, Obama framed negotiation as containment. The other was perceived, especially by Iran, as a regime change. And that regime change rarely produces any form of negotiations. It typically produces resistance.
Resistance. And here's the uncomfortable truth, man. You cannot separate today's tension from 1953 when a country believes you overthrew its democracy for fucking oil. Every sanction feels like domination. Every military move feels like a history repeating itself. This doesn't mean Iran's government is innocent. No one's saying that. It's not our fucking business. If they're not fucking with Americans, dude, and the same people right now who is sitting here saying that we need to go help them are the same people who are saying America is not the world police. I mean, they've been saying this for like 4 years. They said it for 4 years. America isn't the police. We don't have to help other countries.
Yep.
Now y'all celebrating. This is why people hate y'all, because you never stand on anything. There's never a line that your administration can fucking cross. Y'all are going to go with it regardless if it's right, wrong, bad, horrible, fucked up. You don't care. You're just a fucking bootlicker follower. And we're going to go with whatever he says, and we're not going to back down. All this shit means foreign policy is shaped by memory, by dumb shit. And memory in Iran, them people ain't fucking forgetting all the bullshit that we've done to them.
Nope. But
not at all.
If America really wants stability, it needs to understand history first.
And if we want honest conversations, we have to tell the full fucking story. Well, we went there and broke it down. Oil, the coup, the Shah, the revolution, the deal, the withdrawal. History doesn't disappear. It compounds. And this is what we're seeing today. Ridiculous, ridiculous stuff. Kids dying because someone wants oil, wants power. Bibi wants Iran gone because he don't trust them in the region.
Yep.
And instead of him working with people, talking and figuring out ways to be able to come to a diplomatic negotiation and just to get to this place, you have to trust each other. Obama was able to do that. Trump, with his mob tactics, can't get it done. Can't get it done. And the only thing the Republicans can do is try to squirrel, look over there.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the Dems started it. Like, y'all are the dumbest people, man. Never take accountability for anything you do. The last war with Bush, y'all just sugarcoat it over it, act like we didn't vote for that. Yes, you did. Y'all was mad. You couldn't. I remember talking to Republicans back then. You couldn't tell them they wasn't right. They have weapons of mass destruction. We got to go in there. They have the weapons. Bush told us. We're like, dude, they're lying. They're lying. Every movie's coming out. Fahrenheit 9/11. All these things coming out showing you the proof for the bullshit. And no, George Bush wouldn't do that. Go in there and take out Iraq. They okay. Do it. Yeah, George Bush. Then after it's all found out this bullshit, oh yeah. Oh, that was bullshit 9/11. Oh, that was bullshit, huh? But none of them will stand up and say, you know, I voted for that shit and fucked up back then. I was wrong. It's terrible, man. Y'all about to be wrong again as you get bamboozled again into a war that does not help anyone. It doesn't help Iran. It doesn't help us. Regime change does not work. Kennedy spoke about it. He talked about it. He tried the Bay of Pigs. You know that failed, trying to take over Cuba. All these situations where we failed trying to take over other countries. The way you have to take over people, the way you have to take over a country is bloody and it's nasty. And in today's media-driven environment, you can't do the things you need to do. Back in the days of slavery, back in the days of taking over America and killing all the natives, you can't do those things anymore. There's newspapers. There's video. And people are going to call you out for your mess. You can't get away with it like you used to be able to in the 1800s, the 17 and 1600s. I hope that this shit doesn't last long, but it looks like it's going to. They're saying 4 or 5 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks, people are going to be dying. Today, they blew up a ship with a submarine, a torpedo, something that hasn't been done since World War II. So this is steady escalating. Little girls dead, 100 little girls dead from a bomb. Everybody's pointing fingers.
Americans dead.
Like, this is not good. And all you Republicans that's celebrating, in 10 years, you'll be, making excuses for your bullshit that you've done. Sick of it, man. And if you look through history, how many times George Bush took us into Iraq back in the day. George Bush Jr., he does the same thing. Now here come another Republican. And Republicans, the same people. Oh, Obama, he killed some people with a drone. Like, they act like they really care. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all just try to hold Democrats to a different standard. But when it comes to when your people in charge, they go to full-blown war and y'all be okay. But you bitched and moaned about Obama doing some drone strikes. Trump did more drone strikes and then took out the numbers for the drone strikes so you could never see them again. So, hey, stand up, shout, yell, go to your representatives, talk to the leaders of your state and your cities and your towns. Make sure they know how pissed off you about this bullshit. They always telling us they don't have money for wars. We don't have it. Fuck Ukraine. We don't have money to keep helping them. These are the same people celebrating today. They were okay with Ukraine being taken out by Russia. They were okay. Straight up in the corner with Russia. Yeah, let Putin take them out. But now we care about Iraq and their people, and the women have to can't wear their hair. Like, are we serious? Stop it. You people don't care about anyone. But that's it for today, man. We appreciate everybody sticking around and listening to us. This war, man, we're going to keep talking about it.
Right on, Ryan. Thank you.
We appreciate you, brother. And everyone who thinks, that this isn't disgusting, look at yourself in the mirror and rethink it, reevaluate, because this is disgusting. Peace from Habari Ghani. Till next time, till Saturday. Peace out.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.